on, party people? I am your boy, All Elite Joker, and I am joined this eve by special guests. One, Mr. Doctor of Disrespect himself, Michael G. Gunner Davis.
What's going on?
Yes. And one cannot have one without the other. The method of the madness, Kyo.
What it do, yo?
What's up? Thank you guys for joining me. I will give a little bit of setup. Mike and Kyo are friends of mine who have recently gotten more back into wrestling. Kyo hadn't been gone too long, and semi keeps up with WWE, right?
I used to, but it's more that like I'll be scrolling on Instagram and all of a sudden Rhea Ripley stuff will show up, and obviously I'm going to stop and look at it.
That's always important, like the good Queen Jade. Like you just gotta stop and appreciate respectfully, people, respectfully with 100% respect, all the head crushing respect. And okay, well, hey, that. Anyway, they have both recently taken up watching AEW, and I've been wanting to have them on the show as lapsed fans and just new fans to the product. And what better time than the present than the go-home show for AEW Revolution, which is on this Sunday. I'm very excited. We're in Cali. Cali goes crazy, as they showed tonight. Very good crowd. Started off the night red hot as usual, and I've kind of noticed, and I correct me if I'm wrong, but have you guys noticed that Orange Cassidy always seems to open the show?
Yeah.
Like
yes,
he's a very good opener.
Yeah, like I feel like there's a reason for that.
Yeah, no, I mean, like his lackadaisical energy, which is a paradox, just gets the crowd really hyped.
I mean, as somebody who used to live in California, yeah. Also, whenever they say Orange Cassidy, I'm like, well, when they're in California, Orange County. So, I mean, yeah, that is kind of the vibe that I got a lot of the time when I was living in Cali. So,
yeah, man, Orange Cassidy is a sight to be seen whenever he's in the ring. Truly, I remember the first time I ever saw him, and I was just like, "Oh, okay, I get why." Because like he showed up at one of the first AEW events, and people lost their shit. And I watch a lot of wrestling, but I can't watch everything, right? Yeah. And so I'm not familiar with his work. And then when I see this man go, I'm like, "Oh, okay, I get what the hype's about." And I mean, this Orange, I feel like, is always best against a larger opponent, and there's not many people large. I think there's literally only one other person that's bigger than the man he was facing, and Mr. Big Bill W. Morrisey. That's a big bitch, okay? Like that's the end of that story.
I've always, since back in the Kevin Nash days, like if you see somebody very casually walk over the top rope, like they just kind of gently push it down, and you're just like, okay, no, you're too tall for that. Like, go sit down somewhere.
Man is almost as tall as the ring.
We're good. I love the amount of times like Cassidy would come in and he'd just be like, catch? No. Like just the
And it's always so great when you have I feel like that's one of the things that's so good for Orange, because he is a smaller guy. He's not tiny, but he is a smaller guy especially, I mean, hell, anybody's small next to that giant. But every time Will would throw him somewhere, just dodge him and then yeet him or kick him or whatever, the resilience of Orange Cassidy is his strong suit. Yeah. And there was a couple cool spots. I mean, I love the bit where Stokely's trying to get the ring bell attendant to move the table so that he could so that Morrisey could meanwhile, Stokely's hand's supposed to be broken, by the way. I'm just throwing that out there. His wrist is supposed to be, his wrist is and we see how broken it is later. but he gets the choke slam off eventually, which was really good.
Actually looked like it hurt.
Oh my god! Like the way he landed, I was like, that legitimately hurt. Really, I mean, anytime you go through a table, it's gonna hurt like hell. But like, you got to think about it. Bill is 7 foot, right? So like, he was up here, which is at least another foot. So that's about 8 feet up.
That's 2. It's 9 at least.
Right.
Yeah, his arms are large.
Yeah, you're right. And he has some. There was gap. There was gap. Like it wasn't just right here. Like he was here. Yeah, that's a big. The
fact that it wasn't just a slam. It was a slam with some gusto. Like,
he followed through.
He dropped a little seasoning on it, and it's like it is in fact Schrodinger's table. A table has appeared. When is someone going through it? And it was just like sometimes, like whenever you see them land, you're just like, yeah, that actually hurt. I mean, yeah, it hurts anyway, but it's like, yeah, that winded them a little bit.
Like that one's smart. Like that one's real bad. Like that really took the wind out of you, and you are in really, really writhing pain, and you're gonna have to like try and get up after this. And I salute you for that.
Sir, let's not talk about getting up after some of them slams, because oh boy, howdy. I know what I wanted to talk about. Just going, yeah, they're not coming back up after that one.
We'll get to slams that of no return. There was a lot of them in that ladder match.
That a minute.
Poor AR Fox, but we'll get to that. We will get to AR Fox. Poor AR Fox, but we'll get there. So of course Stokely's out there, so he does his thing and is being a nuisance. Love Stokely's facial expressions. I can't wait for other things that have to do with Stokely later. But yeah, Danhausen comes out, to even the score. Morrisey hits a beautiful delayed vertical suplex, which, no matter what size you are, the balance and strength that it requires to hold somebody up perfectly straight like that, just straight up above you, is just the core strength, man, the core strength. And
then one-handed on top of it, because he's just that damn good.
And big. And like, one of the things I love about Morrisey that I feel like, I don't want to say people don't appreciate, but the man has a lot of character. Like, he's constantly just fucking with the crowd. Like, he's just, he'll mimic and imitate whoever he's wrestling, and just to get a rise out of the crowd. And like, I feel like he doesn't get enough credit for that. Yeah, exactly. Only to just like, the dude's hilarious. And then the facial expressions is great.
Yeah, there's a lot more to him than just he's large.
Right. Exactly. Which is, what a lot of some people's favorites are, though they don't want to talk about it. Anyway, so Orange Cassidy, things happen. They get out to the outside of the ring. Orange has to chop this man down with his signature, basically. He has to orange punch a man in the back of the calf. Then basically into a chop block. Then he has to drop kick the man's head into the steel steps, just for him to stagger himself back into the ring, and then hit 3 orange punches, one of which off of the top rope, which I don't know if I've ever seen him have to bust an orange punch off the top rope before. But yeah, and that last one was stiff, bro. Like the way he held it. I mean, he held that arm out, and Morrisey just fell down like a T-Rex. It was amazing.
The way, because Big Bill is A, enormous, and B, resilient, like it helps sell how like tough of an opponent he is, that Orange had to hit him with 3 orange punches to like actually get the pin. Especially that one.
Technically 4, because he hit him with one. He hit him with one to like just get him down to the lower levels. But
thanks.
Yeah, no, he's gonna. God forbid if he was actually as quick and as strong, bruh, that would be a a dude that big shouldn't move that quickly, but he's just the entire time it's just like it's like I'm gonna jump. No, you're not.
Bruh, that man caught him at least 37 times before he actually started getting the hands on him. I mean, the man caught him, I don't know how many times, 2 of which times were like suicide dives out the ring with all of the momentum, and he was just like,
yeah,
we're just gonna put the brakes on that, my boy.
Yeah, because he tried to orange punch him outside of the ring, and he just caught him and then put him through the table, and I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the running orange punch off the steps. Poor Orange Cassidy. But he won in the end, and that's all that matters. Hooray, hip hop huzzah for Orange Cassidy. Then, the patron saint of all Johns spoke. Jon Moxley. Hey, he is the representative of all Johns. So has said me. Anyway.
You mean the patron saint of blood and fists?
Like I said, of all Johns. That man was dripping in blood so much that the cameraman just like was like, damn, bro, you need like a doctor or something. You okay? I mean, the man can barely stand. He is holding himself up by the rail and is just giving one of the most impassioned promos I've seen him give in a while, talking about how he lives for this shit. He's not he is not the kind of guy that you want to go down the dark alley with and asking Hangman who's going to come out. Said he did him a favor sending him to the hospital. People said it was a fluke, like it wasn't on purpose, which knowing Jon Moxley, it was definitely on purpose. And he's going to try and do it again. And so hence the Texas Death Match, which I can't wait for Sunday, and I'm sure you guys can't either, because they are going to beat the ever-loving hell out of each other, even though they have been doing that this entire feud. So I'm kind of scared, honestly, to see one of them is going to wind up in the hospital again. Like, that's the only way I see this ending, because John's not going to go out like that. And Hangman has, like we'll get to his promo later. But yeah, Hangman also.
I can almost guarantee Hangman's gonna win, if only because Moxley's gonna start bleeding and will actively just fall unconscious because there's just his blood will just be all over the arena instead of in his body, and so he's just going to actively pass out. But
let me say something.
I haven't seen a match yet where he hasn't bled at least a little, and I'm just like, and I've been watching since the beginning of the year, and I'm like, the body doesn't produce blood that fast, my guy.
Here's the thing, right? I will tell you from watching enough Jon Moxley matches, that man has an ungodly amount of blood inside of his body, and it's kind of strange because he can bleed so much. I have watched this man bleed from literally one end of the arena to the other, and he is still just busting out suplexes, like getting the blood squeezed out of him, like he did to poor Evil Uno last week. I'm so sad we didn't get to talk about that. Shout out to Evil Uno. He came out there and showed out. That man put on a show, and I was very proud of him. But good Lord, John tried to kill him.
I mean, he really wanted to hit that number though, and we get it, we respect it, but it's like my man, like especially. Yeah, that was
the juices out this man. I watched it, and he had a mask on. How you squeeze the juice out of somebody so hard that it comes?
He tears the mask.
I mean, he tore the mask, but Jesus Christ, like, I mean, it was going like you could see where it was hitting the mask and still had enough force to still be jettisoning out of his face. Like, I mean, this man would just wrench it back and squeeze it. That was amazing. My poor wife, Miss Intervention, could not join us this evening, and she was not a fan of that match, and I'm sure it's a shame because she does love Hangman, but she's not going to be able to watch this match because they are going to bludgeon each other, and I'm here for it. I don't know about y'all, but I am 100% here for it.
There'll be a lot of blood.
I'll be fine.
Lot of blood. That they should call it a Texas blood match is what we're going to actually have. But we will continue. next up, we had the Elite coming out
For a hot 3 seconds.
for all of their lights to almost come up before the lights went back out. And then the lights came up and there were spooky motherfuckers behind them. And then the lights went down again. And then you hear some ruckus. And then the lights come back up and the spooky motherfuckers have the belts. And everybody's like, yeah. And I was also like, yeah. Because I'm a happy little goth boy as well. So I was very happy with when Father Malachi and his disciples came out and beat the brakes off of the Elite. Although I do love the Elite in their work. But yeah, I need the House of Black to whoop that ass on Sunday. But yeah, so that happened. Then we went to commercial. Thoughts on
that was fun.
It was fun. There we go. See, commentary.
Yo, that was just one of those. Y'all should know by now. And when the lights go out and there is no reason for it, none of y'all turn around. It's like none of you are genre savvy at all. And it's just like, I mean, you deserve that L because you weren't paying attention.
When the lights go out, you get laid out. That's how it works. And so they just had to flash it just long enough so you could see that they were standing there before they, got the hands.
Mm-hmm.
Poor Elite. They didn't.
They tried.
They didn't deserve that.
They didn't.
Poor
I thought they were actually gonna come out and say something. Nah, they ain't even make it down to the ring.
Right, I was hoping for like a little bit of a something, but we ain't getting. But hey, absence makes the heart grow fonder or some shit. So we're gonna really be looking forward to that match. I mean, I was already looking forward to that match because you got three crazy bastards on each side. Yes. And one of them is 6'8" and like 300 and something pounds of just pure metal, and I'm so excited. Anyway, next we have the Face of the Revolution ladder match, which is so long I abbreviated as an acronym because that's a long ass name, and I've been saying for years that I need them to shorten that. Anyway, my favorite person to be on commentary, Samosa Joseph, was on commentary, and he is your undisputed king of television, which he is. And I am so happy to see him in this light because I have been watching him since the first time I ever saw him on TNA, which I think was like 2007-ish, somewhere around there. But yeah, Joe is on commentary, which is always a delight because man, it's fucking hilarious. And we'll just say whatever the hell he wants. And I appreciate that. But here's who we had in the match, and then we can just talk about the match amongst ourselves. So we had Powerhouse Hobbs, Commander, who is from Mexico, poor AR Fox.
Rest in peace.
Rip. We'll get to that in a second. Eddie Kingston, which we'll get to that in a second. I'm gonna knock that out quick. Konosuke Takeshita, who my poor wife was rooting for.
So was I.
Sammy Guevara. Action Andretti and Mr. Ortiz. All right, so I'm gonna give a quick rundown on a few hot points, and then we're just gonna go. All right. So everybody went off in their pairs, but most importantly, things that we already knew about. Action Andretti and Sammy went at it because, of course, they did. And Eddie, this is more important. Eddie Kingston and Ortiz, for those of you who haven't been watching, have been having beef because Ortiz thought Eddie was going to hit Julia, but he wasn't. And then he said he was sorry before jumping to conclusions. But Eddie was like, "Nah, you my homie. You should have known I wasn't going to hit no lady." And so they still beefing it. So they fought all the way up the ramp. And we'll never do we see you again.
Bye, y'all.
We were then later informed that they had been brawling in the back for so long that they just got separated, and that was the end of that. So, like, bro,
all right.
I just imagine the two. Like, I wish we had like gotten at least like maybe like one cutaway of them just like in the like concession area. And like one of them getting suplexed into the merch stand, and then Tony just getting pissed and walking out. I was like, all right, both of y'all out. and just like security just tear both of them apart and like, all right, that's it, and then we go back to whatever was happening in the ring at the time. But anyway, so yeah, those two went off and did their thing. Immediately off the out the gate, we got Powerhouse Hobbs chance, which for those of you who don't know, Powerhouse Hobbs is from, I believe he's from Oakland, but he's from Cali, so he's hometown boy, and he's also a fucking beast. So we got Hobbs chance immediately off rip. I've only seen Commander one other time watching a Mexican pay-per-view, and my God, I forgot how much air that man can get out of that small body, and it is amazing. The height he got on that. What was that? What is it? What do you do? The tiger walk with the Arihara at the end, and just like soar through the height, man. Like, cause like he's not that tall of a guy, so like the height that he actually got and the arc on it was just amazing. Like, I was in complete awe. I was like, yo, my man's is out here going crazy.
There's a reason we love high flyers.
Hey, man, high flyers be fire. Bars. And you know what? I will open up the floodgates before we talk about the finish of everything, because I know one thing y'all really want to talk about.
Yo,
please enlighten me of one poor gentleman who was no longer
with us. When AR Fox, because the thing is, our stream kept chipping in and out, so we didn't see what caused it. We just saw the after effects, and it's like the camera was just on him a little too long, and then you looked at him and you're like, oh no, that dude is actually hurt. Okay, that's unfortunate.
So,
like, he was legitimately hurt.
I will tell you the two things that were just absolutely disrespectful, because I mean, he got thrown into ladders and all kinds of shit. But the two really bad things that I'm sure you are referring to are, and for those of you who haven't seen it yet or don't know, the two things that were really, really disrespectful and he did not deserve were Powerhouse Hobbs hit him basically with a Death Valley driver onto a ladder that was being held up by the ring and another ladder, to which he folded in half and basically died. And then after that, he was still laying there because it hurt like a bitch. And so he was just hanging out, laying there, minding his own poor business. And then Commander was like, oh, look, some poor chap. And what did he do to him? Oh, that's right. He catwalked across the fucking ropes and then basically 450'd this man. And the ladder had no give whatsoever. No. So every time he got hit, it was just him and ladder. And then whatever hit him on top, like, so it just right on top of my man.
Like a pancake, man. Like,
oh my God, nah, man. That wasn't no pancake. Nah, that's a ladder. That man is now a waffle. Okay, a walking human waffle is what that man is. Okay, he perished on that ladder. Okay, I need y'all to understand this. The poor man is deceased.
Never to be seen again.
Never to be heard from again.
That first shot, I was like, yeah, he's probably gonna be out, because like I said, the camera was on him a little too long, and you literally saw his limbs shaking, and it's like he just went flat on the ladder, and I was like, oh, boo boo, no. But you notice he rolled off of that son of a bitch after that second shot. Like, ooh, yeah, no, he's gone for the rest of the match. He's good. Because you also notice you never saw him again.
Never seen
my man just
it didn't need to. My man needed ice.
Rest in peace.
He rolled into the shadow. He rolled into the shadow realm, and that was it. Never heard from again. I was just like, oh, because it looked like he almost sank into one of the spaces in between the steps. So it was just like back and lower back and knees, and I was just like, nope, no, my man's dead.
Yeah, he. Poor guy didn't. Poor guy didn't deserve all of that.
Speaking of stuff that you didn't deserve with ladders.
So like,
Which one?
both of those hits were incredibly powerful, and the ladder didn't give, which lets you know how sturdy them ladders are.
Sturdy ass ladders.
Fast forward to Action Andretti and Sammy Guevara. Sammy
Boy
went
took his first big bump.
like
all the way to the top, all the way to the very top.
Biggest ladder they had. It's like he was like, I'm gonna make sure this bitch breaks. And then they put it on chairs, which was even closer to the ground. So it's like, not only did you just put this man, you put him as close to the ground as humanly possible. He is also deceased. The House of Half Black is quickly diminishing. Okay,
yo,
Fox, the poor Top Flight got beat up later. We'll talk about them.
Oh God,
Action Andretti, like they were
Rest
all
in peace.
taking.
He's gone. Like they folded him, the chairs and the fucking ladder, all gone.
like. Oh no, especially because like you could tell by the way he did it. It was just like cool gravity, and yeah, I don't care how much not extra height you're putting on top of that. You are still just dropping. And when I realized the ladder had broken, I was like, oh no, my man is done for the rest of the match, if not the rest of the week and year, because oh my God. Like, I have been watching wrestling for a minute. And to be fair, it's mostly been WWE. And WWE really don't let people do that type of stuff anymore. I remember the last time I saw blood in WWE, I was like, oh no, they about to call the match. But it broke. Yeah, the moment they see blood in WWE, it's like, oh no.
It's actually
like,
still outlawed. Like, they're not allowed to intentionally cause blood.
Hey man, shenanigans occur. Moxley doesn't intend to bleed.
I'm saying this right now. Cody Rhodes is 100% going to bleed during that WrestleMania match. You mark my words. No son of Dusty Rhodes is going to win a championship and not be bleeding. Okay, that is Dusty Rhodes' boy. Dusty Rhodes never won a single championship, baby, without bleeding, because you gotta bleed to earn the championship. Okay.
It's not a pocket knife. You don't need to like bleed yourself on it accidentally for it to truly be yours. It's not a magical item that you gotta tie to the blood.
That's how Rhodes doesn't match, okay? Dustin Rhodes, Dusty Rhodes, and Cody Rhodes. All of the Rhodeses.
They can live their best life. But the moment I saw that thing had actually cracked, I was just like, I don't know if I've ever actually seen a ladder crack. Because like,
it's been a while for me.
Consider all of the nonsense that they actually put these ladders through. Like, even oh my God, for the Trios Championship title, they bent. I don't think any of them flat out broke. And this one was just broken. Yeah, no. And I was like, I can guarantee his back is messed up, because if it broke with the initial hit and then he hit the ground, that meant that the ladder just hit his back too, and all that extra weight. Yep. And I was like, you know what?
Splinter. Bruh. Like, that's fiberglass, bro. That is ugh.
Yep. I mean, there is oh no, that's probably a stunt ladder. It doesn't matter. That still hurt like a motherfucker. Like,
that's still a grown ass man that weighed 220 pounds. Just jumped off of a literally 15-foot ladder and crushed your ass through another ladder and then hit just the ground. Because you could tell Sammy also felt that, because the way he got up and like just I don't know if either what sports either of y'all have done, but if you have ever like truly gotten all of the wind knocked out of you, like I remember one time I was playing rugby and I got speared. And I got speared so hard that I just got like, they speared me to the ground. And like, to have the amount of force that just all of the wind out of your entire body, even because you brace for it as much as you can, but it still happens. And it's almost worse because you were trying not to let it happen. So the fact that it was forced out of you and you're just like you can't breathe. And like I saw his body movement and he was just trying to do anything he could do to get some breath. Like I felt so bad for little Action Andretti. Good shout out to him for taking that bump. Like man's been going for 3 years. He's been going for 3 years. That's probably his first like bump like that. Like and that nothing prepares you for that, you know. Shout out to him. But that he went through all that and didn't even win the damn match.
Right?
Yep.
We thought.
I mean, say what you will about JAS. I hate them. I hate them so much. They're good at their jobs. They're very good at their jobs. I viscerally in my soul cannot stand them, and I'm just like, I just want y'all to get. And here comes Keshta, my boy. I did actually want him to win. I did.
Same.
Hey man, same. Hey, that's my dude right there. I loves me some Konosuke Takeshita, and I'm really glad he was able to have that showdown with Hobbs and like show that he was like the equal to him in the match. And I feel like that's going to become a match later on. But you know, we got hit with the swerve. Takeshita was almost there, but then Hobbs came in, did some big man stuff, and shout out to Will Hobbs because that 6'2", 280-pound swole ass man stood at the very top of that ladder.
Up the ladder.
To grab that ring. That beautiful Sonic ring. And he stood on that ladder. And it took like 6 refs to hold that ladder down to keep it from wobbling so he didn't die. That bent as hell ladder. I forgot because he tackled that ladder first, and me and my wife were like, "Yo, man, you gotta climb that, my dude. Calm down, bro. Like, hold on, man. Your ass is too big to be right. It's like, bro, you too big to be going up there. Anyway, shout out to my man Powerhouse Hobbs for winning the Face of the Revolution. He will be facing either Wardlow, the king of television, and Wardlow. Samoa Joe versus Wardlow. Sunday. Revolution. It's going to be amazing. I'm very excited.
But we got time, though.
We got time.
We got time.
Quick side note, shout out to quick shout out to Takeshita for the plants that he did on Commander, I believe it was, off the ladder.
Oh, bro, that Blue Thunder bomb he hit him with off of that. Yo, that shit was crazy. I thought actually Andretti killed himself when he hit Sammy with what did he do to Sammy? He hit him with that Falcon Arrow. Because Andretti ran up the ladder and then jumped on the other ladder and ran across that ladder and then hit Sammy and hit him with that Falcon Arrow. I
was like, are they
the way he
done?
fell and his leg hooked, I was like, oh, his leg's torn. But then he got back up and he was fine. So
he was
talk it up to me. Hey man, that's what you can. Right, I was about to say that's what you can do when you're 23 years old. Anywho,
our old asses, absolutely not. Right. We're all just like, my back, I feel already.
Anyway,
because I'm pretty sure all of us are sitting in chairs that have back cushions.
Damn right, lumbar support on all day. Next up was another old man, Chris Jericho. Shout out to the Ocho. Yeah, baby. Versus Peter Avalon, who is actually an AEW original, who has come out with a new look, and he looks like a normal human being because he used to look like a 70s porn star. And that was a good one, like a creepy one. Like he looked like Ron Jeremy's like creepy ass little brother, and Ron Jeremy already looked creepy. Yeah, that was cool. Weird. It was amazing. Yeah, I mean,
that's terrible.
Anyway, but that's why you got some of the crowd that was really rooting for him because, you know, we've all seen him for a long time. For those of us who been there since the early days. And yeah, it was a quick match. It was good. I'm glad Peter got a lot of good offense in the beginning. And the fact that Jericho finished it with a code breaker, which I haven't seen Jericho finish a match with a code breaker in a very long time. So that was quite fun. Shout out to Peter Avalon. Glad he got a good rub tonight. But that was not what was important here. That was a vehicle.
That was incidental.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that was a vehicle to drive what we were really here for, which was
absolutely
the end. Because, of course, Jericho beat him and still felt the need to beat him with Floyd, a.k.a. his bat. And you know what happened. Cue his music. The absolute one. The Pebble came out. Mr. Ricky Starks. I love me some Ricky Starks. I make fun of him, but I love him. I took a picture with him that somehow wound up on a pay-per-view. That was fun.
Nice.
No, it was not. I don't like that. Social anxiety is a terrible thing. Anyway.
Oh no, spotlight.
No, please no.
I shouldn't be perceived.
Right.
You say as we're on this show right now.
I'm fine with that. Not millions and millions of people seeing my dopey face standing next to Ricky Starks. Anyway,
you're fine.
So Ricky, of course, his only backup in Action Andretti was deceased, as previously mentioned. So he came out there, and I appreciate him trying to, help out Mr. Avalon. I mean, it's maybe bolstering his forces of some friends who can maybe, come out and assist him at least to distract other JAS members. I mean, I think Peter Avalon could take Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange. Anyway, but yeah, Ricky got his ass whooped because he was out there with most of the JAS. And that was that.
And no support coming.
Yeah, no support coming. So I was like, I put in my notes, Ricky needs friends.
he had a very nice backup friend, but unfortunately Action Andretti got washed beforehand.
Murdered. That man's dead.
But man,
that man.
Yep, rip.
Shout out to Rip. AR Fox, man.
I gotta hand it to Jericho though, because the setup for that ass beating was also really good. Because he was like, Sunday Revolution, you and me, no JAS. They won't be at ringside. But that doesn't mean they're not at ringside right now. And the fools came outside and beat the shit out.
Hager is a big ass man too. That's another big motherfucker that just like to beat.
Oh my god. I remember him from WWE and just and everybody going chanting about his hat, and it's just like,
oh yeah. He likes that hat.
He likes his hat.
He likes his hat. Next, we got a Hangman promo in response to Moxley's, and he seemed to be in a stable, I guess, or something farm related because he's a cowboy. Yeehaw Redemption over there, and he talked about how this is the only thing he's got left going for him because he lost his championship, he lost his friends, he lost everything that was important to him, and he is going to get it back by beating Mr. Moxley, and that Moxley will be a changed man afterwards. And the problem is John's out for a life, and Hangman's not. That's not how you do that. You got to go blood for blood, my boy. But I hope Hangman pulls through, because otherwise he's going to die, which is what he said. It's either life or death.
Number one, I can't take any dude seriously who paints chaps on his pants and it looks ass, and I'm just like, fam, let's not. And it was just one of those. It's like, I don't like violence, but I'm gonna dig deep, and I was like, fam, don't go down to Moxie's level, because he will drag you there and then beat you with experience and blood. So
don't forget the blood. It's part of it's his signature. He has to bleed. It's how it's where he gets powers from.
I'm sorry, Hangman. I don't care what level of monster creature you think you can go down to. Your promo does not intimidate anyone. you stood perfectly fine having a normal discussion. It's just like, oh, we're gonna get in there and we're gonna fight and we're gonna dig deep and mix it up with you. And Moxley's literally bleeding, losing like so much fucking blood, and he's just like, yeah, no, I love this shit. Let's fucking do it. Let's do more of this. I can't wait to bleed more while we fight together. And I'm like, nah, my money's on that guy.
And the thing is, first of all, Moxley, I will say the top 3 promos in AEW are Mox, MJF, and Danielson. Those are the 3 best promos in, 3 best people who can give promos in the company. I'm not saying there aren't other people who can give great promos, because Lord knows Eddie Kingston is probably my favorite person who gives promos, because I love Eddie's promos. But Mox, Danielson, MJF, those are 3 best promos. So anything you do against them is going to be weak regardless. And then on top of that, you have Mox giving a speech about his literal favorite thing in the world, which is violence, and of course, by proxy, blood. For the Blood Combat Club.
Blood for the Blood God.
John is the Blood God. Yeah,
Blood for the Blood God.
Exactly. I told you, it's where he gets his power from. That's how it works. But yeah,
the more he bleeds, the stronger he gets.
Yeah, it's usually how it works. I'm gonna be honest with you. But I'm very excited nonetheless for this match. I have seen Hangman go crazy when it counts. So I'm very excited to see this match, especially since he put the man in the hospital.
Yeah, I'm sure it's going to be a good match. I just going off the promos alone, my money's on Moxley.
Yeah.
Yes. My money is always on Moxley because, again, he's the patron saint of all times.
Blood and violence.
Blood and violence. Blood, violence, and more blood. Next up was John's wife, Renee, doing an interview with one Mr. Christian Cage, which shout out to Christian Cage being a complete professional and talking his entire promo while the entire crowd was going crazy talking shit to this man. And I was like, man, Christian, you still got it. Got a whole arena screaming at you at the top of their lungs, and you don't give a damn. That man talked his shit and got done. I was just like, man, look at this man. He said on his dead body, Jungle Boy will win a championship before him because he's a millennial who didn't earn it and treats this business like a video game, whereas he treats it like it's supposed to, which is an ATM, and he's going to continue to cash in. And he said he ain't shit like his daddy. And Christian is just verbally berating this man like he has been the entire time. But then, obviously, Jungle Boy's been hanging out with his pillar homie Darby Allin too much because he's out here digging graves and shit.
Right. And I was just like,
and started crying for his surrogate dad that he knows he is going to now have to put into this grave.
It's like, damn, I'm gonna have to bury you, dog. And I'm sad about it.
We were so you were the chosen one. You was about that anyway. Yeah, it's gonna be a fucking slobber knocker when those two go at it. I'm very excited. This has been ongoing for quite some time. We all knew this was coming. This is the blow off that everyone has been waiting for I'd say probably about a year and a half now, when Jungle Boy originally teamed up with Christian in the first place, because we all knew this was eventually what was going to happen.
Christian has a habit of it.
Well, Captain Charisma at his best. Also, hot take: Christian is better at literally everything than Edge, especially Edge's flying hugs.
Why would I boo you? You're right.
I mean, when we're right, we're right. Also,
I remember watching WWE when that happened. So,
man, let me tell you something. Let's also acknowledge the fact that Edge looks like Father Time over in WWE right now, while Christian's skin looks silky smooth. And it's still one of the underrated best promos in the game. Like I said, not saying there's a shortage of great promos, but the others are just rise above the rest from all the emotion, and in Moxley's case, blood, because blood makes everything better. Bleed. I mean, you gotta admit, the man had a river of blood streaming down his eye.
He did.
The entirety of his promo. You can the fact that the cameraman was just like,
he panned down.
Right, there is just droplets and pools of blood on the ground,
and it's still going.
And it's still
it was
bleeding.
actively still bleeding.
Ooh.
As he panned down, you just watched the droplets just streaming, and it was just like, can y'all go give that man some medical attention?
Patron of all Johnson. But anyway, we're gonna get away from Moxley because I can talk about John Moxley all night because fanboy. So yeah, Christian talks shit about Jungle Boy. The end. It's his MO. I mean, it's what he's been doing for a minute. I mean, they've had a match and he's gonna concerto the shit out of him. And I'm very excited. No holds barred, whatever the hell is gonna happen. I think they said it at Revolution, but I'm not sure if it's gonna be on the pre-show or if it's gonna be on the but we will find out. And we're not gonna have. Maybe we'll have a reaction video. Maybe, who knows?
It's not like we're not going to be together.
Right. Maybe we'll have a special edition. Who knows? Wait, do I have to work? No, I don't. We might have a special edition, folks. Anyway, next up was something I was very excited for, which was Hook versus Matt Hardy. And that was not because of the match that was at hand, but because of the match that was going to come from it. Because for those of you who don't know, on Rampage, Stokely wasn't there, because if Stokely was there, it would never have happened. But Matt Hardy, Isaiah Cassidy, and what's that man's name? Ethan Page. They all were yucking about because they're like, oh yeah, Matt Hardy's gonna fight Hook on Wednesday, and he's gonna whoop his ass because Matt Hardy's a legend and Hook is just some brat from New York. And he said, and Matt got everybody pumped up, and in a standard Matt Hardy fashion, was like, yeah, it's so. He's like, it's so impossible, and Ethan's like, yeah, and Matt's like, it's so impossible that if he beats me, he can fight Stokely, and then Ethan goes, yeah, and it'll be no hold. No, I'm sorry, no. Isaiah said, yeah, and it'll be no holds barred, and then Ethan's like, and we can't go to ringside. Yeah. So they unanimously decided that was a stipulation without realizing it, but Tony Khan is always listening.
It's like,
and
talk shit, get hit.
So yeah, fast forward, here we go. Matt Hardy versus Hook, which is the standard vet versus young story. And of course, you had Matt hit all of his hits, hit some clean moves. Stokely and Ethan Page, of course, interacted with Hook, and by interacted, I mean punched him and hit him with Stokely's cast because Stokely's hand is not broken because he's a lying little piece of shit.
Yes. Ethan ran him into a pole.
And then ran him into a pole.
Boy.
That he looked like he actually hurt his eye on that.
That was a stop.
Yeah, that was a real hit.
He lucky he Taz his boy. He wouldn't, normal child wouldn't have got up from that so easily. And I say easily, very relatively, because it took him a minute to get back up after that one. But Matt Hardy hit him with the side effect, and it was like, oh, okay, guess I got to hit him again because he was still stirring. And then he floated behind him and hit him with the red rum, which is a underhook chicken wing situation, which Matt Hardy immediately, and when I say immediately, I mean literally immediately. I mean, this man locked, and he was...
Yep.
Which, I mean, I can't blame him. The boy looks like, like, for anybody who's watched anime before, Taz is Yujiro Hanma, and Hook is Baki. He is the perfected form of Taz. Like, Taz was, big, stocky, and could throw anybody. Hook is small and can throw anybody. And we have seen him throw people. I don't know if I've shown y'all many of Hook's videos or if you guys have seen much of Hook's stuff, but good Lord, I have watched that boy throw somebody 300 and plus, just clear over his head like it's nothing. Truly, that is Taz's son. If you couldn't tell from the snarl, you can tell from the way he throws people. But yes, Red Rum victory, and Stokely had a whole breakdown.
No, Hook has the power of God and anime on his side with that hair. So
Yes.
Yeah.
I believe like it'd be great if like there's like a soundtrack going and then the music changes as the hero is like getting resolved to finish the fight, and all of a sudden he's like mega hype and he just goes for it. And it's like, you are not an anime protagonist, but that hair says you are. So
Yeah, no, that hair says anime protagonist energy, and he is always like just calm, cool, collected. Like the last time, what was it? The last time he fought, where he like yeeted Big Bill over his head. I was like, yeah, okay, cool.
Yo.
Yep, he's done that, man. He threw, I believe he threw Satnam Singh one time, which is the even bigger motherfucker. He's thrown some pretty just large men's. Doesn't throw ladies because he's a gentleman.
Talk shit, get hit.
It is kind of funny though, because Hook definitely hit on Morrisey's woman one time because she's one of the interview ladies. But that's neither here nor there. Next, we had more spooky business with the House of Black, because we can never get enough of the House of Black because it's the House of Black. Hashtag Spooky Squad. Father Malachi told us that a champion and championship is not made from flesh, but from fear, and darkness and spookiness, and cool face masks and everything else. I'm kidding. But he did say the whole fear and flesh thing, and he gave this really cool monologue that I cannot possibly repeat because I'm not that cool or eloquent. And he's Dutch, by the way. So, yeah. Tommy he's Dutch.
All right.
Very, very eloquent. Yes, very eloquent gentleman. But yeah, I'm very excited once again for that trios match. It's just to remind us that we're having the trios match for the titles at Revolution, and it's going to be a frick fracking slobber knocker because you got the House of Black, which includes Brody King, Buddy Matthews, formerly known as Buddy Murphy in WWE, and Father Malachi himself, Malachi Black, formerly known as Aleister Black in WWE, versus the Elite, Kenny, and the Bucks. It's going to be a great match.
It's going to be a really good match.
I hope the House of Black wins. They're probably not going to win because they stood tall tonight, but a boy can hope and dream. Maybe they will. Who knows?
Who knows?
But then,
stranger things have happened.
More importantly, stranger things have happened. But then, very excitingly, latest stuff happened. Yes, latest stuff happened. And we had two former women's champions going against each other in Toni Storm, the Red Hot Rebel from Down Under, and the Sweet Baby Bean Riho, which is another AEW original crowd favorite. People love her. As you can see in the crowd, someone had a sign with the picture of their cat on it that said, I named my cat after Riho. And it had a picture of Riho and the cat because you got to have proof that the cat exists on the poster. I love wrestling posters, okay? Also, I don't know if anybody else noticed this complete side tangent. There was a set of posters off to the right. One said my leg from SpongeBob, and then the other one said eels and escalators. And I got so much joy from seeing those signs because AEW crowds just bring whatever the hell they want. I've seen Kingdom Hearts signs. I've seen various signs from video games, anime, different
Golden
all
Sun.
kinds of
I
different
died. I died when I saw the Golden Sun one.
Bring Golden Sun back, you cowards.
bro. I'm just saying that it's
There was
wonderful,
there was a
but
slide last week that was like DBZ is mid, and I'm like,
talk your shit,
just
talk your shit. I'm just saying. But we had Riho and Toni. Toni came out the gates just all firing all cylinders, throwing and suplexing and scoop slamming and all kinds of stuff.
And
The
yeeting her
bus.
across the ring, just yeah.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what she's supposed to do. But then Riho came out and was like, "I'm faster than you because I'm Tani," and so she did the fast thing, and yeah, eventually after a nice back and forth between the two of them, of course, Britt Baker had to come out. Saraya kneed Riho in the face like an asshole. Poor Riho didn't deserve that, even though Saraya's hot. But yes, then we had the women's champion, her queenship, Jamie Hayter, and is that
Dr.
racist?
Jade wasn't out there.
what's up?
Well,
You said her queenship, and I was like, Jade didn't.
I said
come
her
out.
queenship, not the queen. Okay. No. Jade is the queen. Fuck what Charlotte Flair says. Yes. Jade would break Charlotte Flair in half, and I would gladly watch and pay good money to see it. Anyway. I have a strong disdain for Charlotte Flair. But anyway, yes. Jamie Hayter and Britt Baker come down. Got to be back up for the other originals, because the lines have been drawn. Don't you see the writing on the wall? But eventually that led to Britt distracting Toni, who was already onto some shenanigans anyway, and Riho did her patented "I'm gonna put my whole body weight on your legs" pin. And 1, 2, 3. And of course that, started some stuff after the fact. And yeah, the brawl that ensued between Saraya and Jamie Hayter, I was 100% here for, because I'm glad Jamie got her time to shine as the champion. Obviously Saraya is the, bigger name and everything that's coming into this. She's coming back from her hiatus. Well, she's coming back from her hiatus. There are actual people who came back to see her. Thank you very much. Hey, look, just because we don't agree with it, don't mean it's not true. But I'm just saying, she's still not say she bad.
Don't worry, we're waiting until you finish.
But then Ruby Soho, like a green blur, went flying down the ramp and socked her in the head. And I was like, hey, that's what I'm talking about. And then she looked at Jamie and I was like, she gonna sock her too, and she did.
Yep.
But Jamie didn't go down the first one. No. She is the champion, so they got to blows. And then everybody and then Saraya got back in there, and then all of the refs had to come down and stop them. But they kept attacking everybody, and it was hilarious because Excalibur kept trying to go to commercial or go to the next segment, but they just kept beating each other. And it's like, that's how you end a segment, damn it. That's how let the ladies finish out like the guys be finishing. Because, there's plenty of time you see the guys, having to get pulled off. The feeling here is supposed to be that they all hate each other for various reasons, right? Because Jamie hates Saraya because she's been coming in and running roughshod on arguably the house that Jamie and Britt built. And then you have Ruby, who's like, I'm just trying to get gold, which is what I've been trying to do since I got here, which is what the point of me being here. I'm a wrestler. I'm not here for sides. I'm here for that belt. And what better time than right now? Exactly. Priorities. And then you've got Saraya, who is, of course, the root of all of the evils, which I'm not upset about again. Very good segment. I enjoyed it. I had a great time. I hope Ruby wins, honestly.
I hope Ruby wins.
I also,
yes. Match, but I know Saraya has a lot of ring rust because she hasn't been around for 5-7 years, something like that, and like she's recovered from an injury. Like that still doesn't make her exciting to watch in a match.
She is so slow in comparison, and it's just like she doesn't really sell that hard. Like she doesn't look like she hits that hard, and it's just like I don't want to watch you. You are not interesting.
I do not want to see her as a champion. Like at least not yet. Like shake some of the rust off. Like really get back in the wheels of like what you're doing, and like then maybe we can talk about it. But like right now, nah.
Although I will, God above and below, I need Ruby to just. I know she's not gonna, but it's like, yo, if the two of them want to go at it, let the two of them go at it. You can just stand back and be like, don't worry, I'll wait. I'm here from a belt. I don't care about this beef y'all got going on right now. But like, if you're gonna be bad enough to put yourself in between them like that, you better be bad enough to deal with both of them simultaneously. Because you think for 1 second the two of them won't look at each other and be like, "Screw this bitch," and deal with you, and then go back to dealing with each other. Like,
it's going to be an interesting dynamic and a very interesting match. And I'm very excited to see what comes of all of it.
Hopefully, Ruby is the new fucking champion.
Hey, man.
Hopefully, Ruby.
I also wouldn't be upset with Jamie holding on to it either, but I think it's Ruby's time personally.
Yeah.
Next, and finally, at least match-wise, we had yet another long-ass name, the Casino Tag Team Battle Royale, which started out with the Dark Order getting attacked as they're coming out by the Blackpool Combat Club, which, I mean, that's kind of their thing. We beat people up. That's what they do. And they fought for about a good 3 or 4 minutes before they even got in the ring, which is when the actual match started. And then they had to have another 3 minutes before anybody else came out. But then, next out came out LFI, La Facción Ingobernables, which is Roosh and good old Preston Vance, El Pedro Peligroso. That is his name. I did not make that up. Then came out the Lucha Brothers to apparently everyone's fanfare because they popped hard for that. That was great. I'm always happy to see that.
Because they're always fun to watch.
I mean, the Lucha Brothers. I've got 2 of Pence's masks, so I don't think I have either one of them. Oh no, one fell out. Oh no. Well, I'll get that later. Anyway, then I was actually excited to see them, but Aussie Open came out. Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher, which are 2 guys from New Japan Pro Wrestling. They are a very good tag team. They belong to Will Ospreay and United Empire. Yes, I watch a lot of wrestling. I watch New Japan, Impact. Starting tomorrow, watching Ring of Honor. And All Elite Wrestling, and I catch the Big 4 from WWE because I like to torture myself.
He does.
Next up after that was Daddy Magic and Cool Hand Ange, which Cool Hand Ange, like the coward he is, hid most of the round without getting into the match. Top Flight, The Kingdom, Orange Cassidy, and Danhausen. And then the Butcher and the Blade. So many people.
God.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I was not able to keep up with who got thrown out by who and how many and what. But I did keep up with the fact that Orange Cassidy and Danhausen did get rid of the BCC guys. They also got rid of Cool Hand. Yeah, Cool Hand. Because Daddy Magic was already out, right?
Yes.
I think so.
I do believe, yeah. Cool Hand got taken out by them, and Butcher and Blade. And didn't the Kingdom? I can't remember who took the top
so
five of the Kingdom.
Dark Order got eliminated first. Then,
yes.
The BCC went out, like not out, but like slid out under the ring to continue the beef and continue fighting.
Yes.
Then the Luchas got attacked while they were outside. Next, Top Flight got eliminated. Kingdom and Aussie Open got eliminated pretty much simultaneously. and then that's when Orange Cassidy and Danhausen got rid of BCC and Butcher and Blade and won.
God,
And
no, the
fucking
things
won.
that people didn't see coming with Danhausen, just especially because Cassidy was already injured and he's still over there. No, Cassidy with just BCC, just hands in pockets, ribs are injured, but he's still going at it, and it's just like, I mean, to be fair, he did also say, "I don't care." Hands in.
Man said, I don't care about them injuries, and he truly didn't. And in the end, he just held on for dear life, and that was all he needed, so that his teammate could come and flip two goofy motherfuckers out the ring, and that was all it took. Ding, ding, ding.
God.
Danhausen and Orange Cassidy are your winners. And I was like, I'm actually really excited about this. This is going to be very entertaining because you got two very entertaining guys in the ring, and Danhausen can actually wrestle when they let him wrestle. So I'm hoping that is a thing. But then, of course, that can't be the end.
Of course not. I just don't need the two idiots with the titles right now. I
Oh,
need
yeah,
my
no,
man to stop
that's-
coming out in crop tops. It kills me in my soul. Watching the
He's
Acclaimed
just getting
in
his
general.
daddy.
Daddy ass is daddy ass, but daddy ass can pull that off because, you know, he's daddy ass. Watching the Acclaimed hurts my soul, running around doing scissor me this, and I'm just like, Mike sees my face every fucking time, and I'm just like dying whenever they come out. I am deceased. I'm just like, God damn it. The worst part is they're good. I hate it, but I love it. I love to see it. Them crop tops. I'm just like, again, fantastic heels. I want to punch you in the face whenever they open their mouths. It's like, oh yeah, we did. It's like, no, you little piece. I don't like them.
Of course. Hey, Charmaine, so good to see you. I also hope MJF loses, but we'll get to that in just a moment. Yeah, the guns came out. You had all members of the party out there because the Acclaim came out to save the day because, you know, they got attacked by Jarrett Lethal because that's what I call their tag team. So you had Jeff Jarrett and Jay Lethal and the Guns and the Acclaimed and your new additions of Danhausen and Orange Cassidy. Still wild to me.
Yeah, that's a combo I didn't see coming.
I didn't see it coming either, but I'm very excited for it. But yeah, you had all those gents out there and you're ready to go. And the last thing we saw
Ooh. Speaking
was
of
Danielson
promos.
came out and began to cut a promo. And then, of course, we hear the little shits music. Charmaine's comment is once again relevant. Because, but before Max he'd even split his lips to say anything. Shut up, said Danielson.
For once in your life, shut up.
And then he tore this man to pieces. Tore him to pieces. Told him he wasn't about shit. Told him he was giving everything in his life. Told him he didn't know how to fight for nothing. And then he wouldn't be able to fight for nothing. And he was going to lose that championship. Why? Because he didn't know how to fight for shit. And
the best thing,
he's going to get his fucking head kicked in. And said it at the top of his lungs. And I was like, go ahead, Danielson. You dropped that F-bomb on national television because you mean that shit. And you're going to do it. And I'm excited.
Let's not forget, Danielson was also like, hey, you deserve your wife to leave you. Or your fiance to leave you.
Bro.
I would like you to know that's where our video crashed again.
Yes.
After he said that.
Bro, MJF tried to storm down there. And he said, "What? What you gonna do? Come on down here and fight me then. I'm always ready to fight, bro. Let's go. You ready to fight? You gonna fight me right now? We can do the 60 minutes right now, fam. Let's go." And MJF stopped in them tracks and was like, "Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I expect from you. You know what I would have done? I'd have got up in this ring, You know why? Because I fight. Unlike you, you're chicken shit. And it was amazing. And I was just, oh my goodness. That again, best promos in the building. Mox, Danielson, MJF when he's able to speak. I want Danielson to win so bad.
I
feel
him
like
to
he
win.
can. I feel like he can.
He definitely has the chops to do it.
No, I'm
But-
just saying. I feel like there is a possibility storyline wise where they could do that and have him win, even if they have MJF have a rematch and win it right back. They can still have Danielson win. And I kind of want MJF to like lose his championship like multiple times throughout the year, like him basically lose every every defense, and then wins it back because he cheats every time. Like I kind of want that to be his reign. So like by the time he gets to the end, he's like a 8-time, like a 3 or 4. Because let me see, Moxley's a 3 or 4-time champion already, so he could be a 4 or 5-time champion by the time the end of the year comes up, and it's the bidding war of 2024, which he is so eloquently put many times. But that was Dynamite. What'd you guys think of this show?
It was a really good show. I'm hype as hell for Revolution.
Some of them bumps got my old back hurting. But we were here for them. Oh my god.
Yes.
I want MJF to get his shit rocked 3 ways from Sunday, because to be fair, he has been running like a little bitch every time Danielson comes anywhere near close to actually putting hands upon him. But, and I was telling Mike this before, the man is so good at his promos. Even while he is talking shit, he is hyping up his enemy so well. Although, God, last week's promo was good. Could have been better. Oh my god, it would have been great. But no, I can't wait for Sunday. This is going to be. It's gonna be bump heavy. Bump.
Oh yeah.
Oh damn, I feel
yeah.
old now.
Hey, you dated yourself, man. On that note, we gotta take our old asses to bed and take our vitamins.
It is
Thank you,
11:30.
everybody.
It is time to go to bed.
It is 11:30, and I gotta be at work at 6 in the morning. Let's do this. Thank you, everybody, so much for joining us. Once again, a special thanks and shout out to the Doctor of Disrespect, Mr. Michael Matt Davis,
Thank you, man.
and the Method to the Madness, Keo. I appreciate you both. I can't wait to have you guys again. I will see you guys very soon for the pay-per-view. Charmaine, thank you again for your warm welcome to our guests here. Hopefully we will have them again, and hopefully my beloved wife, Miss Divine Intervention, will be able to join us on this next outing. But thanks again, everybody. As always, enjoy your wrestling in whatever form that takes. WWE, AEW, or one of the many indie promotions that I watch because I have no life. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night. See y'all later.
Have a great night, everybody.
Deuces.
Peace.